Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Wherever you are in the world, welcome. You're listening to the Synthwave radio show.
You were a deceiver, I was a believer. I could never think you'd go with someone else. What a fool. Even when you like you were so revealing. Trusted and played your game for so long. So long. Taught me what it feels to be alone. Whoa, no, it's done. You're gone. You just gotta mend the pieces of my heart. Oh, you've known all along. I just need to realize you're not the one. Oh no, 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 you're not the one. I could not believe it when I found out you were playing lovers with somebody else. Her memories are fading. You treated me so wrong for so long. Taught me what it feels to be alone. Whoa, no, it's done. You're gone. And I just gotta mend the pieces of my heart. Oh, you've known all along. I just need to realize you're not the one. Oh no, 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 you're not the one. I just need to realize you're not the one. You're not the one. You're not the one. All that I could do was build a wall, waiting for my heart to become strong.
You were my world, my all, and now I take the fall. But every night I know that it was not my fault. I will stand and take control, and I will now reverse the roles. I won't be the victim anymore, 'cause I deserve to be loved.
Whoa, no, it's done. You're gone. And I just gotta mend the pieces of my heart. Oh, you've known all along. I just need to realize you're not the one. You're not the one. You're not the one. I just need to realize you're not the one.
Welcome, 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 welcome. You're listening to the Synthwave radio show with me, your host, Danny D. And joining me today, we have got a real life superstar. Welcome to the show, LAU. How are you?
Hi, Dan. How are you? I'm very well, thanks.
I'm great, thank you. Thanks so much for coming on. You've got this
Sure.
brand new album out. We've just heard a track off that. It's called Believer, and that's the name of the album, right?
Yes, that's the title track of the album. It's a song that I co-wrote with Brian Skill, who is based in Ohio, in America. He's a fantastic producer. He actually mixed and mastered my entire album as well. He's such a good producer. And we also wrote "Stunning" together. So we wrote two songs, and one was my first single, and this second track is the title of the album. So yeah, kind of an upbeat track.
Cool.
Quite fun. You know,
Yeah,
again, the whole album is about breakup
yeah.
a minute, but it's quite an upbeat, uplifting song. So yeah, I'm
Uh,
very proud.
yeah, and the release date for that I've got here is February the 12th, right?
That's right. So yeah, the
Sorry.
album comes out on February the 12th, and the deluxe version is going to have 7 fantastic remixes and a cover version of Haim that I did as well. So it's all coming out on the same day.
Cool, cool. And I'm a big fan of what you've been able to do with this album because it is very uplifting. You know, you can definitely dance to these tracks. I really like them, all
Yeah.
of them. I said to you before the show, I've listened to all the songs on the album, and they're all fantastic. But underlying that, if you listen to the lyrics, it's heartbreaking. You know, I'm like, oh my gosh, poor LAU. You know, it's amazing what
LAU.
you've done. Just want to give you a big hug. But it's
Thank you. I know.
it's such a good album. How long did it take you to produce and put it all together?
I started writing it right around the lockdown in the UK. I mean, around March, I started writing. So it was about 9 months, all in all. So it kind of feels like a baby, you know. It feels like giving birth to this thing and being reborn as a solo artist after, you know, writing for Nina for nearly a decade and drumming for other artists and doing all the stuff I've done for years and years. It was like being reborn into, well, you know, let's do my own thing now. Let's show people who I am and how I sing, and let's start singing my own songs, and what I have to say. You know, let's put it out there and see if anyone connects to these emotions and this journey.
Cool. And you are very much stepping out of the shadows, because you've been around in the synthwave world for quite a while. You mentioned you've been working with Nina, and before that you were a session drummer. Can I just ask you how you got into music?
First band I had when I was like 16 years old was back in Argentina with friends from high school. We did an all-girl band, and of course I picked the drums. I was always fascinated by the drums. Anytime I would watch a band, I would stare at the drummer. That was I just had fascination with the drums. And I moved to the UK when I was 21. I did a music career here. I went to university. Well, here, I mean in London. Now I'm in Barcelona, but in Europe, in the UK. After coming out of uni, I just started touring as a session drummer. I started playing for a lot of pop stars. Back then, you know, about 20 years ago, it was very rare to have a girl drummer. It was like really special. Now it isn't, and that's great. It's great that it's not a thing anymore. It's great that it's absolutely normal. You know, no matter if you're what gender you are. But back then it was like a role that was, you know, it was pre-assumed that it should be a man playing drums or playing bass or whatever. So, but it was always as a session player. So then at the end of the day, you really don't end up with much. You know, you live the lifestyle for a little bit, but you didn't write those songs. You're not gonna get the big checks or the big recognition. It's just a show. You know, it's just a gig and a job. So.
But a great experience, I'm sure, right? And, you know, what a platform to launch all this from. So lined up next, we've got track 7 off the Believer album. It's Always on My Mind. What a track. What a track. Always on my mind. Off the Believer album there by LAU. I love it. I love all the tracks on the album, LAU. Can you just tell us
Thank
again a
you.
little bit about Always on My Mind and who you work with on this one?
Sure. Yeah, sure. So we wrote this song with N84, who is a French producer. He's amazing. He's a big collaborator on the album. We did 6 songs for my debut album. Um, and I liked him so much that I signed him to my label, to Aztec Records as well, because he's fantastic.
He's awesome.
He's such a nice guy to work with, super humble, and he's just so versatile. He can do anything you ask him to do. He's awesome. Um, and um, and I wanted to have, I put a bit of timbales in there. I wanted it to have a little bit of a Gloria Estefan vibe to it, even though it's slow tempo, or sort of mid tempo. But and the lyrics are quite sad. It's about, why won't you love me back? I know you can't love me, but I can't get you out of my mind anyway. You're
Yeah.
always on my mind, no matter what I do, and how am I supposed to forget you, and all these. So yeah, the whole album is all these stages of, after going through a hard breakup, all the stages I went through, all the emotions I went through, and some songs are happier than others, hopeful, or sad, or there's all these emotions that I went through in
Cool.
the album, and then well, you'll see with the others, you'll see with
Yeah.
the other songs.
Well, I just want to ask you, you mentioned earlier, obviously you're in Barcelona now, you used to be UK based. How is life in Barcelona? Is it you enjoying the sun? I mean, wow, that must
Yeah.
be great, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm a bit red. I was playing beach tennis all day on the beach.
Ah,
It's meant
stop.
to be winter, right? And it's 20 degrees and sunny. It's
Oh my
incredible.
days.
Incredible. Like, I've been playing tennis all week on the beach.
I've been watching your Instagram. It looks absolutely
So
lovely out there.
nice. The most beautiful sunsets. I always knew I would end up somewhere with palm trees. I just didn't know where. Because
Yeah.
for a long time, I was planning on moving to LA. I also thought about going to Sydney because I got lots of friends in Sydney. And in the end, Barcelona was just perfect because I
Yeah.
speak Spanish. It's only an hour and a half
Of
away from
course. Of
London.
course.
I've got my business in London. I got my house in London. I got lots of things in London. I got a brother in London. So I will be coming back loads. And London it was my home for 21 years,
Oh,
and
good.
so I still love it, and I want to go back, just not in winter.
Good.
I'm going to go back
Yeah.
probably every summer.
Yeah.
for a bit.
Yeah. Don't want to come back during the winter. What a waste. Yeah.
All 2 weeks of summer, I'll be
Yeah,
there.
just the 2 weeks of summer. Yeah. Well, big shout out and much love to anybody listening in Barcelona or Spain for that matter. Welcome to the show. Going back to the album, do you have a favorite track?
Oof. Um,
Big question.
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard
Yeah.
to pick one. So like I was telling you earlier,
It was hard for me.
So many emotions. Yeah, it's so many. There's the power ballads, there's the upbeat stuff, there's the dancier stuff, there's the songs about falling in love again, and there's the songs about, oh, I can't believe you did this to me. How could you? There's all the emotions are there. But I think the cards.
Yeah.
It's a really special song. People are really connecting to it, and that song is about finally, after going through all that pain and all that heartache and all that journey, finally going, I'm right here where I'm supposed to be. Life took me where I should be, and hopefully I've learned something from all that pain, and kind of trusting the universe, and I can finally understand the cards
Yeah.
life has dealt.
Yeah. I play on a sort of
So-
casino and tarot cards, sort of what hand you've got. I love it. Genius.
Yeah, it's kind of a simple message, but well, this is it now. This is it. Stop hurting about the past or worrying about the past or being anxious about the future or whatever. You are where you should be, and just make the most out of it. Just trust the
Sure.
universe.
Yeah.
So that's kind of after the whole really painful journey and ups and downs and all the emotions. That's kind of me going, okay, I've found myself again. I'm back to normal. So yeah, that song means a lot to me, and it also meant I actually wrote it when I already thought I was going to move to Barcelona. I already knew I was going to leave London. It's also about a new beginning, and I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going to be okay, kind of thing.
Sure.
I'm just going to trust myself.
Now,
Yeah.
I've got to ask, because we know you're a pro drummer from back in the day. Do you
Yeah.
still do the drumming on these tracks? You must have a big input, surely, right?
Yes, yes and no. So a lot of it is program drums, and
Yeah.
most of the producers will do that. But I added bits of extra drums and like some feels here and there. Like in Unable, there's a big feel after the middle eight, or in Always on My Mind, there's some timbales. I add synths and bits and pieces to embellish the production. But I'm already working with some amazing producers who they program drums really well, and a lot of times I'll mention I want this here, I want that there, I want here, there, that. I sing it out to them and say, put that there, there. I don't, I have my SPDS with me, so I use my Roland SPDS
Oh, cool.
to record bits and pieces, but I sing it out, and it's quicker if they produce it and get a really good sound out of it than me going and recording an acoustic drum. And nowadays there's all these amazing samples, but I'll probably be drumming on tour like I always do.
Now, have you got anything lined up in terms of tours? Because it's a bit difficult at the minute, isn't it?
Yeah. Not yet. The idea was to launch the album first, which is just coming out in a couple of weeks, less than 2 weeks, and then start planning the live shows. So what is it going to look like? What instrument am I going to play? There's a lot of options. Who am I going to be on stage with, etc. So I'm kind of working through all the options at the moment, and I've had a few offers to do live streaming shows and all that, and hopefully start touring properly. Who knows
Hopefully,
when?
end of
Who
the
knows
year.
when?
Hopefully,
Yeah,
end of the year we'll be back
or
on.
next year.
I so can't wait. I hope there'll be a UK tour
I know.
or a
Fingers
visit.
crossed. Fingers crossed.
Where can people find you on social media?
So there's two ways. One way is to go to, there you go, aztecrecords.com, and that will take you to our Bandcamp page with all our 30 artists, including myself. So aztecrecords.com. And then if you want to find me directly on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, etc., it's LAU Fares. So you'll see that probably, where is it? There. LAU Fares, or LAU Fares Music. You're going to find me everywhere. On Spotify, you can put LAU and Stunning, which is my first single, and that will come up straight away. You can follow me as an artist on Spotify.
Okay, well, what we're going to do now is we're going to play one more song from the album, and then we're going to come back, just take a few minutes just to say thank you and goodbye. The next track, this is towards the end of the album, so is this about getting back on your feet? This is Unable, track number 9. Yeah.
Unable is, well, oof. Do you want me to tell you now?
No,
or
let's play the
after?
track first. Let's play the track. This is LAU with Unable.
Bear the weight, bear the sorrow inside. Unable to feel, unable to love. will take me? Who will love me as I am? I really hope that there is somebody wanting to care and to love, standing beside me, knowing the answers of love. Oh yeah, the answers of love. Yeah. I really hope that there is somebody to love.
That was LAU with Unable. Another great song off the album Believer, which is out everywhere, 12th of February. LAU, thank you so much for joining us again today. Unable, can you just give us a bit of background on this one?
Yeah, sure. That song was produced by Max Parker, who's an amazing up and coming British producer. And yeah, it's a bit of a kind of a power ballad in a weird way. But yeah, it's about, will anybody love me? You know, after going through all this pain and you know, having dark days, etc. So yeah, the lyrics are quite, they're kind of hopeful but sad at the same time.
Yeah,
It's a bit like Somebody to Love, you know. It's a
yeah,
bit like Queen, Somebody to Love in that respect. Is, will somebody love me, or anybody, you know? So, and love me as I am, and so it's yeah. Again, one of the many stages I went through
it's a
this
fantastic
last year.
track. You guys are awesome. You sell me really just on the intros alone to these tracks. I love them. They're just so good. You
Thank you.
mentioned Queen there, and Gloria Estefan earlier. Are they a bit of an influence for you?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Some of my favorite artists. I mean, I was always a huge Queen fan since I was a teenager, so I had the whole collection, you know,
Cool.
CDs back then,
Yeah.
and absolutely love them. You know, more of the '80s sound rather than the '70s rock stuff that they were doing, but loved Queen, yeah, all my life, and Gloria Stefan as well, and of course Madonna, and you know, there's a big influence in my
Mm.
music. You know, the beats and the kind of, you know, sort of synth pop, and I don't think the music in the album is sad at all. There's only like two ballads, but they're quite uplifting ballads in a way.
Mm.
So
Well,
yeah,
once again, congratulations on a great album. I can't wait for its full release and all the
thank
listeners
you.
get a chance to, stream it. I assume it's going to be on Spotify, Apple Music,
Everywhere,
and all the usual places. So
everywhere.
keep an eye out for it. Go and pre-save it if you can, and look out for that on the February the 12th. Lau, before we let you go, do you need to shout anybody out? Any of your team?
Well, shout out to Aztec Records, which is my label, my business partner Ariel, who any of these wouldn't have been possible without him, and all the artists on the label, that they've been incredible. They're fantastic. They inspire me every day, and yeah, all the fans out there, thank you so much for the support. I get messages every day saying they connect with the lyrics, and that's all that really matters to me, is that someone connects with these emotions that I put out. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Good. I just want to add one thank you to that, and that's to John at Aztec for putting me in touch with yourself. And thank you again so much for coming on and taking time out of your precious
John
day.
rocks.
Um,
Yeah.
this will be played on Leicester 107.5 FM as well. So big shout out and thank you to those guys for supporting the show. Please do like and subscribe to this video. It all helps with the YouTube promotion and getting it seen by the world. But please, whatever you do, remember February the 12th, Believer is out. Go and get it saved and stream it, download
Yes.
it. Look for it on Bandcamp. Are you doing tapes and special giveaways
Yeah.
on
Vinyl,
Bandcamp?
cassette, CD. There's the deluxe version with all the remixes as well. So yeah, yeah, go check it out. Just go. Yeah.
Bandcamp.
Records.com is probably the easiest. It will take you to our Bandcamp and you'll find me there.
Brilliant. Well, it's bye from me and bye from LAU, and I will see you all again next week.
Thanks, Dan.